Good evening. Good evening. This will be brief. This edition of Folks Talking Sports, episode 114. I am, of course, KG Kris Gardner, owner of the Houston Roundball Review. And joining me will be AD Moore from the Max Korner and Willy Gibson from WTG Sports. We're going to talk some football, but I know Astros fans, don't worry, we'll be done before the game. I think first pitch is at 7:03, so we'll be done before then. Be right back with this smooth, mellow intro. See you in 20 seconds. Hello. Mr. Moore, there you go. How are you, sir?
Up? I'm doing outstanding, Mr. Gardner. How are you?
Outstanding. That's great to hear. Mr. Moore.
Yes, sir.
You are AD Moore from the Max Korner.
I'm absolutely the one, the very one, the only. Well, yeah, I'm absolutely that person. I'm that person,
the one and only. And let folks know who are new to you. What does that entail, sir?
Okay, let's get started with X. Let me see. That's Elon Musk's one that he dropped $44 billion on.
No. What do you do? Who do you cover, sir?
Who do I cover? I cover the Houston Texans primarily, and I do a little collegiate football on along with covering the Houston Texans on a primary basis, sir.
Will you be at Rice this Saturday, sir? I'm putting you on the spot. This coming Saturday, the 28th?
No, I'll tell you the reason I won't be at Rice because I will be traveling to Carolina to cover because the Texans would take on the Carolina Panthers, and I will be en route to that venue. So I'll be heading that way. The Rice Owls won't get to see me this week. So, but
right. No worries.
I'm pretty sure somebody from the Houston Roundball Review media group will be able to get there. Since you are a media group now.
I am fortunate enough that the Houston Roundball Review is indeed a media group, but I won't be there this Saturday. Rice plays Tulane, 3 p.m. kickoff, because I'll be at Fertitta Center watching the Coogs basketball team in the exhibition game. I was hoping that game. I was hoping one of those games would be in the evening, but they're both at 3:00. So I cannot split myself in two to be in both spots. But whatever.
Right,
Miss Wanda, Thank you very much. Salute to you. Thank you for your support as always. She supports the Roundball Review and watching the shows and the videos and everything like that and buying the merch too. Speaking of merch, got that Folks Talking Sports merch right there.
That's the new one, right?
Yes, the Folks Talking Sports merch.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yep.
All right.
And got Houston Roundball Review hoodies available as well. Speaking of a hoodie, looks like the man is wearing a hoodie. Gonna bring him in, Brother Gibson. Talk some college football. How are you, Brother Gibson?
Wonderful, gentleman. AD.
What's up?
I'll see you about 2 weeks.
Yeah, give or take, man. That's it. That's it, man. I'm ready to roll, man. I'm ready to roll in there, man. I'm looking forward to it.
Make sure you bring a hoodie because it's that time.
Yeah, well, you know what?
He's gonna buy a Roundball Review hoodie. That's what he's gonna do. He doesn't know yet, but he's going to.
He doesn't know. But I'll be representing. Hey, Willie, you know what? Every day I go out there and look. Okay, what's the weather? Because you know what? Like when I went to Buffalo a couple of years ago, I was glad that game was in September. Because it would have been anything past October, I was going heading to Western upstate New York. I'm going like, nah, that's okay. I'll stay here.
Right.
But a couple of things. We're going to talk football, Coogs football, Ohio State football, everything like that momentarily. Something earlier today made me laugh. Okay. Rockets practice.
Mm-hmm.
Went long. My goodness, it went long. Media was said initially, get there 11:45. Then we got word, okay, be there at noon. I got there at noon and waited. 12:30 and waited. 1 o'clock and waited. It was about 1:30 before we got a chance to go into practice and listen to speak to Coach Udoka and Uncle Jeff and Dylan Brooks. During Coach Udoka's session with us, my man, AD, you know him, Cody Davis.
Yeah.
And Cody pretty much going to have him on this coming Saturday on the next edition of Let's Talk Houston Rocket. Well, another edition because we're going to have one on Tuesday before the season opener on Wednesday. Cody asked Coach for an update regarding Tari Eason. Tari Eason, forward, do everything, hustle, everything like that. But he's missed the last few games, preseason practice, with a lower leg issue. Okay? That's pretty much what it was. That's how they termed it to us. Lower leg issue, contusion, whatever. Friday night's game against the Heat, I was asking some of the fellas, so have they said anything about, is it a stress fracture? What do we know about this injury? What's going on? Don't know anything. So Cody asked Coach today, any update on Tari Eason? Coach says, oh, yes, Tari will be out 2 to 3 weeks with a stress reaction. And that is basically the first step to possibly a stress fracture. So while he's talking, I ask about, stress fracture. Well, he said like 2 to 3 weeks, but he didn't say really specific. So I said, what is it? Is it stress fracture? What is it? So he said, it's a stress reaction. As soon as he said that, nearly every other person who did not have a camera phone went to type an update on their social media platform. Okay. Everybody. I'm the only one holding my camera phone, getting more info. So, Coach, is it a stretch? Which leg is it? I'm asking questions about it, but everybody else, print-wise, gotta be first. Gotta be first. Tari's out 2 to 3 weeks with a stress reaction. And I'm like, Coach is not even done giving you information, but y'all got to type up, Tari's out 2 to 3 weeks. That's where we are now in media. Like he was going to be injured tomorrow or in 10 minutes when you got more information about it. Was it right leg, left leg? I had to ask that question. Something I didn't know. So I wanted to find out. It's left leg. Okay, Coach, thank you very much. And he said, we caught it early. It's a good thing because if he'd have played on it, could have made it worse, could have broken it, and it could have become a stress fracture. But we caught it early. So we evaluated him in 2 to 3 weeks, and we'll then see how it is. But, man, y'all should have seen it. Everybody. Type.
If he had made a mistake in between time you hit send, everybody would have been out there with erroneous information.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Wait, we're not talking about getting right qualified information. We're just talking about being first, whether we right, wrong, indifferent, or otherwise.
And it spanned the generations of age and experience in media. Okay. So it wasn't new generation or whatever. But yes, new, old, experience, inexperienced. Almost everybody. Punch it in, got to type it in. Okay, whatever. But yes, Tari will be out, so clearly he won't be playing when the Rockets open the season this Wednesday at Orlando. But it was just bizarre. But I posted it, the video of it, on YouTube as a short, AD. So gotta get the program. So it's on the Houston Roundball Review on YouTube, Brother Gibson. It's also on Threads at Houston Roundball Review, TikTok, Houston Roundball Review, and of course on the gram, Houston Roundball Review. The video of it, so you can hear him answering the questions that I asked about Tari Eason. But yeah, I just thought that was interesting. Let us talk some football. Mr. Gibson, we're going to talk about the Buckeyes in a second, make you and Corey happy. I want to talk about the Houston Cougars, my alma mater.
I need to see Andy.
Yeah, he was close. He was close. Well, things look good. Okay, late third quarter, whatever. First quarter, second quarter, 21-0. Doesn't look good at all. But they tied it up. Only lost by 7. A bad call, bad spot by the official. Stacey Sneed was almost at the 8-yard line rather than the 9-yard line. And yet somehow he was spotted close to the 10-yard line. But that was a horrible call, horrible spot. The Cougs lost by 7. So the bettors were wrong. Betting line was 22.5, 23.5. So the Cougs lost by 7. If you believe in moral victories, Cougs got that. I don't believe in that. They played well. What it did to me, what Saturday's performance did to me is set the bar for expectations. I'm like, well, y'all played as well for the second through fourth quarter, next Saturday against K-State, this is what I expect to see from the opening kickoff. This is what I expect to see. Some fans, hey, more victory. Dana's going to be back next year with better players, onward and upward. We're going to turn things around. It's going forward, hey, we got the right man for the job. Now, mind you, after getting waxed by Texas Tech 3 weeks ago, before a bye week, it was so bad, folks were joking that the bye week would beat the Coogs. Remember that?
Mhm.
The Coogs won't lose this weekend because they're off. Have a come from behind win over West Virginia at home on a last-second Hail Mary. Lose by 7 Saturday to the Longhorns. Competed with some pride, some folks, me included. I thought they'd get waxed. I was less impressed with the Longhorns. Secondary was trash. But I found out that they're missing like 3 key players in secondary. That helps. But you're going from picking the bye week to now Dana's come back. Things are turning around, man. We got the right man in charge and all those things. Say what? Say what?
Wait a minute. Are you talking? Are we talking about the same team that had to call back-to-back timeouts because you had 12 people on the field on consecutive defensive plays?
And no one called timeout.
Huh?
Yeah. And no one knew.
This is the team. This is the team we talking about. And so when you really needed another timeout at that 4th and inches, and for the life of me, you didn't call a RPO to give this kid a chance. Coach, I think your starting quarterback is what, 6'4"?
6'5". 6'5", 240.
6'5". Oh, I'm sorry. Let me give him his full dimensions. And you couldn't pick up a few inches on 4th and what, and then you call that play on 4th and inches.
And apparently, gentlemen, Gus may bring Gus's comment up here, but apparently I was told Dana thought it was 4th and 2. That's why he called that pass out. He didn't think it was 4th and inch. He thought it was 4th and 2. That's what I was told after the game.
Whoa. Oh, never mind.
Yeah.
Okay.
So hold that thought. But look at this, AD.
This comment here. So
yes.
top five in the Big 12.
Yeah, that's what I'm ordering out myself. Top 5 program in a few years. And what is a few? Yeah. Is that 3, 5, 10? What is that? And let me be clear, everyone. If you're tuning in, watching us on Facebook, YouTube, I am a proud UH alum. So it's not like, what Chris, what are you talking about? You're just hating on Dana. I have high standards. Okay, I call it like I see it. So miss me with this. We're turning things around and what? Heck, after game 2, there were some folks questioning whether Donovan Smith should be the starting quarterback. Give the backup guy a chance. Now he's played well the last 2 weeks. Looked very good after a very slow start against Texas in that first quarter. These slow starts got to stop. Got to stop. If you want to be a good team, getting down 21-0 to Texas, 28-0 to Rice, cannot happen. It just cannot happen, but it has happened. That needs to stop. Especially, Willie, if you're going to be a top 5 program in a few years. But I digress. Tony M's, Tony coming from the top rope, top 5 in Houston.
These skills coming. I know these skills got something.
He got to be coming. He might be watching the Astros. He might be at the game. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
At Minute Maid. But I say all those things. Gentlemen, let me pull this up. Got a slide. I made a slide. Some of the info was courtesy of my man, Ryan Monso at GoCoogs.com, who was kind enough to have me on his show, on his website, part of a get to know the media that covers the Cougs. I was part of that. Andy was, young man, Starnes Leonard from the Daily Cougar was part of it as well. So that my segment is on my channel at Houston Roundball Review. So you check that out. Learn some stuff about me you may not have known. But info, I asked Ryan, what's Dana's record versus winning teams and teams under 500? Check this out. Dana's record versus teams with winning record was 8-18 entering this season. All right, this season. Beat West Virginia, who was 4-1 at the time. Lost to the Cougs by 2 in that Hail Mary. And then lost to Oak State at home. Got run over by Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State Saturday almost put up 300 yards rushing. But then lost to Texas yesterday. Longhorns 5-1 at the time. So now Dana's 9-19 versus a team with winning records. The win over UTSA, obviously, season opener, 0-0. Okay.
So is this at just Houston or is this career?
Houston.
Okay,
this
just
is
Houston.
Houston.
Okay.
Next, versus teams with losing records, 19-2 coming into the season. Lost to Rice. Owls were 0-1. Beat Sam Houston State, 0-2 at the time. Lost to TCU, who was 1-1 at the time. They're now 4-4 after TCU got just stomped on by K-State 41-3 yesterday. Lost to Texas Tech, who was 1-3 at the time. All right. So that's kind of not very good, Dana. You're beginning to lose teams with losing records. Okay. But you're now 20-5 versus teams with losing records. Here are the records of the Cougs opponents to date. UTSA 4-3. They won, I think, 3 in a row. Rice 4-3. Sam Houston moved up to.
They had won a game. They still trying to
AD
figure.
knows. As the alum knows.
As the alum knows.
Yeah, 0-7. TCU 4-4. Texas Tech 3-5. West Virginia 4-3. Horn 6-1. K-State 5-2. Baylor 3-4. Cincinnati 2-5. Oak State 5-2. UCF 3-4. Cougs got 5 games left, gentlemen. Start with K-State. What say you? How will the Cougs finish? Currently 3-4. 5 games left. 2 teams with winning records remaining. 3 teams with losing records remaining. What say you? Gus, Tony M, Corey, Miss Wanda, what say you? AD, what say you?
I think they'll win 3 games and manage to get to a bowl game.
6-6. Mr. Gibson?
5-7.
All right, that's fine. Corey, with the elbow from the top rope, he goes 1-4.
Whoa.
Okay, but Willie, you said 5-7, so that means 2-3.
Yep.
So who was the third loss?
I see them losing to Dave Aranda has some work to do, so I'm gonna say they lose to Baylor.
Some folks think you might be right.
Yep.
Gus with the obvious ones, 6-6 with the wins over the teams with losing records. Okay. 5-7, 6-6. Saying all this. Go ahead, Willie. Go ahead.
So he was 10-2 2 years ago. Then he was 8-5 last year. So 6-6. But they're turning it around.
Yes.
Going in the right direction.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure I was clear.
That's the rationale. Yep.
But you're stepping up. I guess because you stepped up to the Big 12, a Power 5 ranking conference. I guess that gives you I guess in this equation, you figure because you stepped up to a Power 5 ranking Big 12, that probably that's a -2 for games now. Is that I'm just trying to understand this equation.
Yeah. Corey says maybe 2-3. He doesn't see the Cougs beating K-State, Oak State, or UCF on the road. Miss Wanda, who is a diehard UH supporter, 5-7. Apollo says, I doubt they become bowl eligible.
Yep.
Gus says, you, Willie, doesn't your first year, this is what AD was touching on, doesn't your first year in the Big 12 mean Dana gets to start over?
But you were turning it in the right direction prior to your first year in the Big 12. So if you start over, that means you go back to 0. So you lose all this traction and all this momentum and all this positivity that you work towards. No. Because I also go back to a comment I heard that 8-4 gets you fired. And we're going 10-2, 8-5, and at best 6-6. But you're still here.
And I go with this. Dana, TCU's defense this season is really, really bad. The Cougs scored no offensive touchdowns against TCU. They scored 13 points. The one TD was a kick return. West Virginia's defense. Cougs scored 41. Texas Tech has a losing record, and they stomped the Cougars. After those two losses, Dana said, we just wore down in the second half. This is Big 12 football. They played well against the Longhorns. We almost took down mighty Texas. Hold up, Dana. You said after the losses to two inferior teams to Texas that you wore down in the second half. But you battled the Longhorns. We almost took down mighty Texas. I'm confused. I thought these players wore down and they just weren't ready for the Big 12. You know, the roster that you yourself put together, which a lot of fans pointed out to him for saying that comment after Texas Tech. Now some of these same fans, oh, we got the right man for the job now. What? Huh? Oh, this is a new name I haven't seen. Welcome to the show, Dizzy Busy. I like that. Dizzy Busy, 5 and 7.
Well, Chris, wait a minute. Hold up. Maybe I just went back and looked at the analysis again, looked at the equation. Because the vaunted Texas Longhorns are now going to the SEC, does that make that loss? Does that make that loss more significant because they going to the SEC? So really, they stayed on the field with an SEC team. Is that what somebody's equation?
That's part of the equation, I'm sure.
Wow.
I'm saying the Coogs are 3 and 4. You are what your record says you are. 3 and 4.
That's what D'Amico Ryan said in his comment last week when we met with the media going on in bye week. He said, our record, we are what our records say we are. We're 3 and 3. He said, there was some games we probably should have lost but we won. And he said we could have won and could have lost some games we won. But our record is what we say we are. The Texans are 3 and 3. So
Corey says right here, Willie, we lost to Rice. That's the only thing that should be remembered. That's embarrassing. And after that game, Dana said his players did not have the will to win in overtime. Okay, this is the same coach. Some of y'all have done a 180 about want to bring him back. He tossed players under the bus after the loss to Rice, which Nelson Caesar said after when he heard about those comments. Oh, no, I don't agree with that at all. We had the will to win. Then he said, after losing to TCU and Texas Tech, we wore down in the second half because this is Big 12 football. But you have a gritty, come from behind win over West Virginia, thanks to the offense, because defense, boy, give up that 4th and 10 after the 50 for a touchdown. I mean, come on there. But, hey, you fought hard against the mighty Longhorns who, and let me read this, Kirk Bowles for the Austin American-Statesman covered the Longhorns for years. Some of his comments in his column makes you wonder. See if I can pull it up. He said basically the Longhorns secondary was banged up. Issues there. That's a concern. The Coogs wide receivers just whoever they wanted against the Longhorns secondary. Problem number 2, the Longhorns are suddenly very, very vulnerable in the secondary. Sure, no one can run on them, save OU quarterback Dylan Gabriel, but teams can pass on them at will.
But wait a minute. Oh, wait. In the first half, are we watching the same game because the announcers were heralding how great this secondary was of the Longhorn. How great how great these guys when they would fly paper with these receivers.
Which is surprising because Mr. Bowles says this. It doesn't help when cornerback Ryan Watts and safety Jalen Catalon didn't play a snap.
I was going to ask you about Ryan Watts. I was waiting. Did he play? Okay,
they didn't play yesterday.
Oh.
And nickelback J.D. Barron set out the first half with an injury, but before battling back in the second half. So the Longhorns are dealing with injuries to the secondary, which the Cougs, to their credit, took advantage of with the receivers. Game turned, in my opinion, when Steve Sarkisian had that just awful fake field goal call with a chance to go up 24-7. Willie, have you seen it? Did you see it?
No, I haven't seen it.
Snap to the holder. Holder tosses the ball to the kicker to his left. They need like 6 yards. Okay. So snap to the holder, pass to the kicker. How many kickers do you know are going to pick up 6 yards?
Not a lot.
So as soon as the play began, it was doomed from the start. Coogs stop them. They got the momentum. Instead of going down 24-7, they were down 21-14 at halftime.
To your point, what you just said, how many kickers would gain 6 yards? You know what that play call tells me? Steve Sarkisian didn't respect his opponent.
That's what I thought right there. Yep.
Well,
because you're right. What kicker is going to gain 1 or 2, 3, perhaps 6?
Yeah.
He didn't respect his opponent.
Well, he had, man, come on. If you after that first quarter, I mean, they were up 21-0. The way they were scoring, the way they were scoring
at the end of the first, and then 21-0 early in the second quarter. Yeah.
Yeah. After the way they were walking up and down the field, you thought that they had sort of brought the Texas bubble and put a place right there at TDECU Stadium. The way they really took, they were just like having pass. This was like 7-on-7 drill. The way they were going up and down the field, it was just that bad, man. And I'm sitting there going like, y'all, I remember hearing will the Cougars fans show up? All this, other stuff. What's going to happen? And I'm watching these guys perform, and I'm going like, yeah, I hope y'all know what time the kickoff was. Kickoff was at 2 o'clock.
And see, that goes back to one of my things about the slow starts on offense and defense. You can't do that. This game was, y'all were hyped up. It was sold out crowd, 42-8-12, second largest, missing by 10 to the game against Louisville and Lamar Jackson from a few years ago. But Sark went for it, as Corey said, 5 or 6 times on fourth down. He didn't respect Houston at all. But he kept giving them he didn't respect Houston. His play calls on fourth down were kind of strange as well. Like, yeah, let's try this.
That's what it was. He's preparing for Texas A&M. He's preparing for a potential playoff game. He's like, let me see if this works. Keep it on film and give future opponents something.
Give somebody else an opportunity. He just
something to think about.
He putting subterfuge out there on the film, so make a coach spend an extra another several plays, several minutes or hours trying to dissect something, so they got to write something else down.
Exactly.
So the Cougs made some adjustments defensively, which is a good thing after giving up 21 points. Combined with the Longhorns to start Sark taking the foot off the gas. Combined with Donovan Smith playing much better than letting Donovan Smith be Donovan Smith. The short passes work, middle of the field passes work. That helped with the Longhorn secondary being injured. But hey, that's part of it. The play calls worked. Heck, the first play for the Cougs in the first quarter was a great play call. Donovan Smith passed to Samuel Brown deep down the field, and Brown dropped the ball. Hit him dead in his hands. Man, I don't know what happened here. It hit him dead in his hands. Jumped up, and the ball, he was losing the ball before he came back down to the grounds. And that's
that's the
most reliable receiver.
Yeah, that's where he high pointed that ball. Yeah.
So that took the life out of the offense for a little bit. And they, I think, put up 13 or 15 total yards in the first quarter. That's horrible. As Gus points out here with a question, will Houston start playing some Big Ten teams now that they are Power 5? If UH beats low-level Big Ten teams, does that help at all? No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Maybe Northwestern, maybe on a down year, maybe.
That's the one.
And that helps Dana's people, but it doesn't change anything. Iowa put up a mighty total of 2 yards in the second half yesterday against Minnesota.
This is how dire things are in Iowa. Iowa's offensive coordinator, who by the way is the coach's son.
Yes,
I'll leave that there.
You mean you talking about his last name is Friends?
Ferentz. Yep.
Ferentz.
Yes.
Oh, that one.
Him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, imagine that. The coach and the offensive coordinator, the same last name. But
is
he has a contract.
Is he the head coach in waiting?
He's the coach waiting to be relieved of his duties after Thanksgiving.
But he gotta talk about the contract clause.
Yeah, the contract clause. He has to win 8 games, which possible, and average 25 points a game. So they've been winning until yesterday, but they haven't been scoring 25 points a game. So conceivably, this team can win 8 games, but not average 25 points a game, and he could lose his job. He will lose his job, and his dad, in protest, will probably walk out the door right behind him.
I think they have to finish the season averaging almost 40 points a game
to get to 25 points.
Yeah.
Yep. That's not going to happen.
No, not going to happen. Big Ten football, Brother Gibson.
Yes, sir.
Marvin Harrison Jr. is a bad man.
Yes, sir.
Is he all the offense y'all got?
No.
Are you sure? How about the quarterback play?
No. I mean, Marv had, 11 for 162 yesterday? But no. He played the number 1 defense in the country yesterday.
Okay.
So, no. Penn State, to their credit, when they came in here and battled, and we knew that wasn't going to be a pushover. That James Franklin.
But you know where I'm going with this, right, sir?
Sir.
You know where I'm going, right?
I'm waiting on it. Okay, I'll stop. Come on.
Okay. Can their offense compete with that man who's probably going to be gone after this season, coaching the team up north?
As long as they no longer do what they've been doing to get their second NCAA investigation of the season, sure.
Mr. Gibson.
Yes.
All right. Corey, what do you think, Corey? The team up north can put up points.
What's
stop
this?
Folks.
You got any better insight into what this quote unquote is? This what's cheating scandal? I mean, how bad can you be cheating on this to cause this type of investigation? Or is the NCAA just so much into Michigan, that team up north? I know you don't say the word, I understand, but I can say it.
Yeah,
let me say it for you.
Please.
I mean, that team up in Ann Arbor, are they so fixated fixture in NCAA enforcement division now that they a cheating scandal, a low life staffer is now suspended because sound like a Bill Belichick type deal? What was he doing? Taking a camera and I mean, really?
Well, yeah. Here's the thing. NCAA has outlawed in-person scouting since 1994. You can scout on film, you can exchange tape. You cannot attend a game in person to scout a future opponent. And I'll go back to 2020. In 2020, which some people call the COVID year, and it was the COVID year, Jim Harbaugh was on super thin ice. And to the point where on Tuesday of the rival game, it was announced that Michigan could not field a team due to COVID restrictions, and they would not be coming to Columbus on Saturday. So on Tuesday, they said we can't play on Saturday due to our COVID numbers. Okay. Now, I say that because had he lost that game, it was a high probability that he wouldn't be back. Now, they said on Tuesday they couldn't play on Saturday, but on Sunday, somehow, they were able to field a full team for practice and weightlifting sessions. I'll leave that there. And the 2 subsequent years since, they've beaten Ohio State, whereas before the previous 7, he couldn't beat Ohio State. What's different? Oh, in the last 2 years, and kudos to Greg Schiano to bring this to the forefront, because he, during his halftime interview a couple weeks ago, said something's not right and we'll get to the bottom of it. And he wouldn't elaborate. But subsequently, since then, now the NCAA is investigating Michigan. And I'll say this. If there's no truth to the scenario, why are you suspending the person that allegedly has been doing this?
Dude, all right, okay, so the question
Corey has this statement right here. The team up north hasn't played a team with a pulse on offense or defense yet.
I was going to get to that, but yes, he's right. But to your point, let me go back to AD's question. You can't scout in person.
Right.
They've been sending this person on their staff to scout in person. What he's been doing is filming the play, filming the signal on the sideline. So now you have the signal, then you watch the play. Okay, so when they signal X, they're going to flatten the zone on this play, and that's illegal. And again, Jeff Harbaugh has the blanket statement, I had no knowledge of this. That's wrong on two fronts. One, if you didn't know about it, you have lost institutional control of your program.
Right.
And if you did know, which some tend to believe that he did, then that's worse because you coached it. Either you allow it or you coach it. And he's coached. So if he knew about it and he just allowed it to go on, then he's culpable. And again, that goes back to this is the second NCAA investigation of the season. Remember, he has self-imposed a 3-game suspension on himself because of the first NCAA investigation of this season.
He did not cooperate with the investigation at all.
Yeah.
Okay, let's state that. He did not cooperate with the NCAA investigative team at all. He basically told them to go pound sand.
Basically.
And agreed. That's why I go back to what I said initially. This will be his last game coaching at the team up north. Mm-hmm. So he's going to dare everybody. Yeah, we're cheating. We're going to beat them for the 3rd straight year. Then I'm going to quit. Y'all can take the game away from us after I leave, but whatever. I'm going to get Ryan Day fired because I'm going to beat his behind 3 times straight. How about that?
Here's the thing with Jim Harbaugh. He's disrespected that program from the time he came back. There's a few years back that he interviewed with the Minnesota Vikings on National Signing Day.
Yes.
Who does that?
Yep.
You're signing high school kids to come play for your university. You're interviewing for an NFL job on that day? No secret. Wasn't airport hangar and we're at the airport Marriott and no, everyone's common knowledge. He interviewed for the Vikings head coaching job on National Signing Day.
That's about as bad as a senator from Alabama who was a coach at another team and was meeting with some recruits and actually left dinner and went pursuing another coaching job. He happened to be a senator for a U.S. senator in the state of Alabama now.
Yeah.
I'll let y'all figure that one out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Corey, I did. I did see that. I did see that photo.
I missed that, but yeah, have you seen the pictures of the guy who allegedly standing right next to the OC and DC throughout the game with a sheet of papers in his hand?
Yep.
I've never seen an analyst stand next to both.
Yeah, I did see that. But they have no knowledge of it. Game day, he's on the field. An analyst, which analysts aren't on the field on game day 1. 2, I've said enough.
Well, here's the question: if you're not allowed to be scouting in person at these respective games that where he's allegedly supposed to be at, has anybody actually spotted him at those games with camera in hand or something, scouting or doing what scouts normally do?
Well, there's been word circulating for a while.
Okay.
This has been going on. Schiano just kind of let the cat out of the bag, so to speak. So there's been common knowledge for the last couple of years that, nothing concrete that you could say, gotcha, this is it. But there's been rumblings for about 2 years now.
Well, fair enough. The team up north, like I said, he'll be gone in a few months. He doesn't care. He doesn't care who gets in trouble. He doesn't care who knows about what they're doing. goes to a point of mine. What can the NCAA do about this?
Well, the rule's been in place for almost 30 years. He's, what can they do? Strengthen, the penalty for it. I don't even know what the penalty is, to be truthful. This is the first investigation I'm hearing of it. I mean, am I naive to think that this is an isolated incident? Probably not. No, I'm not. What can they do? Make an example. Make this man, but like you said, is he really going to be the example? Because he's out of here. He
right.
To quote Craig Mack, he won't be around next year.
Yeah.
So
yeah, he doesn't care.
He doesn't care.
He almost has both feet out the door. He does not care.
Yep.
Shifting gears. Big 12 had their Hoops Media Day Tuesday and Wednesday. On Wednesday, Oklahoma State coach Mike Boynton had a sit down. Well, part of his Q&As were to get his thoughts on Oklahoma State being the only school team involved in the quote unquote scandal, the FBI scandal investigation that got a postseason ban. Kansas was the final school that the IARP, which remember years ago was going to drop the hammer on these programs for this scandal that is just wreaking havoc in men's college basketball. Only one team received the postseason ban. KU got a probation, but they lost their records and their Final Four appearance, blah, 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 whatever. And it ruined, it hurt, it damaged Bill Self's reputation. Did y'all feel the pain? Did y'all hurt in your heart when Bill said that? I mean, did you kind of like, oh, Bill, I feel your pain, coach. But I say all this, Coach Boynton, he said, look, yeah, it bothers me. We're the only team that got a postseason ban. I'd like to receive an apology. I'm not expecting to get one. But if rules were broken, there needs to be some accountability. Period. Your thoughts on that?
Agreed. On both points. Yes, there should be some accountability, but as Coach Boynton said, don't hold your breath for that apology, because NCAA or accepting responsibility and admitting wrongdoing, nah.
Here's the question: How many NCAA championships has Oklahoma State basketball won in let's say the last 10 years?
No. Yeah, none.
How many?
None.
Zero.
How many is Kansas? How many is Kansas won?
Last 10 years, 2? 1 or 2?
Yeah. And they've been a perennial top 5 program, recruiting and otherwise.
Oh yeah, I mean they're
considered the bellwether. They're one of
the Big 12 and one of the blue bloods of men's hoops. Yes.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Enough said. I answer. I mean, are we really that naive to think that's why Oklahoma State got a penalty, a no clause? I mean, a prohibition against playing postseason. And really, come on.
But Mr. Gibson, Mr. Moore, it's about the well-being of the student assets. Oh, I did it again. The student athletes. It's about what's best for them. We believe in integrity. We always want our programs to follow the letter of the law and do what's right.
How many T's are in integrity?
Are you asking them to spell it?
No, I'm just asking how many T's are in the word integrity.
What is it, 2? Right? Yeah.
One lesson to tell the truth, right?
Well, see, now y'all talking about the mighty NCAA. They don't do anything wrong.
Right.
What's the great line from Tarkanian, Tark the Shark? The NCAA got so mad at what was it, Kentucky? They punished Cleveland State.
Yeah.
Which is, I guess, the parallel now.
The
NCAA
$1 billion
got so mad at
nonprofit.
Kansas, they punished Oklahoma State.
The $1 billion nonprofit is what I like to call it.
Yeah. So yeah, they were so mad at KU, they punished Oklahoma State.
Yeah. Well. But nobody's being cynical on folks talking sports, right?
Never here.
Nobody's being cynical about this, right?
No, we don't do that at all. No.
Oh, okay.
Never,
all right.
Not at all.
No, and there's no dripping sarcasm, none whatsoever.
Would I do that? No, sir. I would never do that. Mr. Gibson, who does the Buckeyes have next?
At Wisconsin, Saturday night, prime time.
Ooh.
On what network?
I think that's an NBC game, if I remember properly.
All right. In these final moments of episode 114 of Folks Talking Sports, I don't remember the writer, but someone wrote maybe Friday or Saturday preview of the Penn State Buckeyes game would be the last important regular season college football game. The person who was saying this wrote this because with the expanded playoff is going to reduce the importance of the regular season. I'm going to combine everything. Gentlemen, what sport is the most popular sport in America?
Football.
College football, to be specific.
College TV ratings. Which one? NFL?
Well,
Let's go with NFL.
Yeah, it's NFL. And that's Fox, by the way. That's Fox, prime time on Fox.
Okay.
Fox State, Wisconsin.
So it's the NFL. Top ratings. Well, the top 75. If you pick 100 TV programs, NFL's got almost all of them. Or college football. So one or the other. The NFL playoff teams have made NFL teams have made the playoffs with 500 or under 500 records. It doesn't seem to hurt their ratings if you have too many. And they're adding games to the regular season, Mr. Moore, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Hasn't seemed to hurt their ratings.
Only thing it is actually and I've stated this on more than one occasion. The fact that they've expanded the regular season by one game is that by the time you don't start seeing what I call real NFL football until the end of September, because those three preseason games, none of the starters are playing. None of them, and they'll come in for maybe a series in the third ball game, and they use the first 4 regular season games as an extension of the preseason game, and people are paying a good hard-earned money watching regular season football, but really you're seeing the extension of the preseason within that first 3 games, if not the first 4 games. The month of September is just an extension of the preseason. That's just the way I look at it.
Thanks.
Agreed. And yet, ratings haven't suffered.
No.
So why would ratings? America loves football, pro and college.
America loves betting. Okay.
Well, yes, that too. But in terms of, it's going to diminish the importance of the regular season in college football. Give me a break.
No.
Give me a break.
No, I guarantee you, I would love to go back and see what the rating numbers were for the Ohio State Penn State game. I would love to see the rating numbers.
Yeah, they're probably out. If not today, they'll be out tomorrow.
Yeah, I'd love to see the rating numbers on Utah USC game last night. Okay, just go back in those quote unquote. I would love to see the rating numbers of the Texas and U of H game, and that was a 3 o'clock. That was a 3 o'clock kick. When you go back and look at the rating numbers, I guarantee you that folks that there has not been a weaning of folks wanting to see that could not get in the stadium that did not want to see those games. And I'm just talking those particular ones.
America loves football.
Second highest audience in Fox football history, college football history, 9.9 million.
For the which game?
Ohio State Penn State game.
Oh,
no, scratch that. Nope, that's wrong. They're not out yet. Pull that back. They're not out. Wrong. That's wrong.
It'll probably be tomorrow.
It'll be tomorrow. That's wrong.
Yeah.
All right, wrapping it up here. I just was able to find it. Oh, that's not right. I'm trying to find the odds for Coogs K-State game. Let me see the betting odds. Looks like K-State minus 16.5.
Ooh.
Corey, Tony, Wanda, K-State, Houston at K-State, 11 a.m. kickoff game on ESPN2. K-State is favored by 16.5, according to, I won't say who because they're not paying us. So, which they could if they wanted to. I don't mind taking some, having advertisers, betting advertisers on the show. But yeah, that's one line I found, 16.5. Yep, 16.5 seems to be the consensus right now. K-State minus 16.5. What say you, Willie? Would K-State cover that 16.5?
At K-State, 11 a.m. kickoff.
Before you make a prediction, before you pick, keep in mind, Dana Holgorsen has things turned around in the right direction now. Okay.
Oh, well then they'll cover.
He's right at the ship.
You push me over the edge. Yep, they'll cover it.
That's so cynical. So cynical. That's so cynical.
But
come on, Willy Gibson.
Like I said earlier in the show, what the offense did against the Longhorns, I want to see that Saturday against K-State. I don't want to see a first half of 40 yards total. Or less than 100 total yards offensively. You set the bar. It's up for you to do this for the rest of the season.
Well, I would hope that the communication issue will be resolved with the defensive side of the ball, which you on consecutive 2 plays in a row have 12 people on the field. I just hope that they get that issue resolved. At least get that resolved.
And to that as well, let's not see the defense give up 14 unanswered in the first quarter, or the Houston get down 21-0 or 28-0 or whatever. The bar has been set. Apparently, y'all can play well. Y'all can play well in the second half of Big 12 games, much to the shock and dismay of your head coach. So let's see what they do on the road at K-State this Saturday, 11 a.m. kickoff on ESPN2. Mr. Moore.
Yes, sir.
Let's see if I can get this to work correctly. How can folks find you on the interwebs, sir? And I'm going to give you the big screen. You got it, sir.
Well, you can catch me on Elon Musk's, his revenue producing X, which is now Twitter, which is X, at AD_Moore64. You can catch me on the Max Korner YouTube channel. You can also catch me on the Houston Roundball Review YouTube channel. You can catch me on the Max Korner Instagram page as well. And all of that, I'm running that and about to add threads to it. I just haven't. It's there sitting there waiting on me to set it up. But and by the way, I know the folks that subscribe to the Folks Talking Sports, just jump on over there to the Max Korner YouTube channel and just subscribe as well as. And I realized that the reason we use the Houston Roundball Review YouTube channel because you done had over 4 million views on that channel since this exception. So we utilize that plus my Facebook page, and sometimes I use X. So that's where you can catch me at all those different locales right now. And I appreciate the opportunity. And as Willy Gibson stated, I'm looking forward to catching him. I doubt if I'm going to be walking into the stadium and all of a sudden. Really? That was like what was that? That was last year. We didn't just walked in the stadium. I'm going like, wait a minute, what are you doing?
He blew my cover.
Well, Gibson, you got it, man.
All right. Thank you for the opportunity as well. You can find me on. I'm still old school. I'm a contrarian. It's Twitter and I don't think I'm gonna pay that man $1 either. But that's another story. You'll find me on Twitter at Will Know Sports, as well as Facebook and IG and Threads. It's all right there. He's exactly right. Will Gibson 7 on Twitter, Facebook, IG, and Threads at Will Know Sports.
And I am KG, Kris Gardner of the Houston Roundball Review. Folks Talking Sports for this show website, because Folks Talking Sports is part of the Houston Roundball Review umbrella. You can go to Linktree/Houston Roundball Review, get all the info, the links to the merch and everything like that. Follow both platforms, Folks Talking Sports and Houston Roundball Review. Thank you for taking time joining us this evening to discuss sports with you. We appreciate it. We'll be back next week. Mr. Moore will be from Carolina for the Max Korner.
Absolutely.
I look forward to that. So, Brother Gibson, see you next Sunday.
Yes, sir.
All right. So let me thank everybody for chiming in, joining us. Corey Miller, Gus, Miss Wanda, Demerick. I need to ask him how to pronounce it. Demerick or Demerac? Let me know. Dizzy Busy, thank you for chiming in. Thank you for giving me my Minnesota comment there. Everyone, tell your friends about Folks Talking Sports. Tell your friends about the Houston Roundball Review. And for those who are new, who may not know, the Houston Roundball Review since 1994. Local name, global perspective. Take care. Peace.